Now, following the recent flooding and large-scale damages in the city, the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagar Palika, or the BBMP, has started an anti-encroachment drive to remove illegal structures that have come up on stormwater drains in several areas of Mahadevpura zone. Now, the team identified and marked 2.4-meter storm water drain encroachment by the Bagmane IT Park, but mysteriously left the Tech Park few hours later without demolishing any structure over there. Now, this has raised questions on whether the officials succumbed to pressure, as citizens in the neighborhood have constantly pointed out that the tech park has been spared because of the sitting minister, who is also an MLA from the city, and he has business interest in the tech park. Meanwhile, the Congress has questioned why the bulldozers have gone silent when it comes to the powerful. The civic body, in fact, came down heavily on the encroachers, coinciding with the commencement of the 10-day monsoon session of the Karnataka State Legislature on Monday. My colleague Ritu is joining us on the broadcast. Ritu, first of all, tell us about the situation in Bengaluru when it comes to the rains and what had happened to the bulldozers. That's the question that people who stay in the neighborhood are also asking.
Yes, exactly. After, India's Silicon Valley, Bengaluru city witnessed flood-like situation, and the main reason, the key reason has been the Raj Kalwe, for which you see the state government has taken an action now a week later point, where the state government has said that whoever the buildings belong to or the structure, the illegal structures belong to, they will be demolished and there won't be a second thought given to it. For which now you see an action is pouring in here. So BBMP officials are removing the illegal structures. So right now I am reporting in from Shantiniketan layout, where almost 7 buildings which have been said to be an illegal have been served a notice from the revenue department, and now there is a demolition that is taking place. So the illegal structures have been demolished. So what we are learning on ground is almost 7 buildings in this layout in particularly will be demolished.
Okay. Ritu, so I believe you're standing too close to the JCB over there, so we are barely able to make out what you're saying. If you could probably move a bit away from it. I also want to understand, the BBMP identified 2.4 meters of the storm water drain encroachment in this particular area. Now, and they left without having touched any of it, or there is some portion that they are still working upon?
Yes, exactly. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, I can. Please go ahead, Ritu.
Yes, so that what we are talking about is the Bagamane, which is in Mahadevpura, where almost 2.4 meters of illegal structure was been identified. But what happens over there is the BBMP officials reach the spot, they mark the 2.4 meters of the structure, and but later point in couple of hours they return back without touching these IT parks. But you see right now in the visuals, there is the demolition that is taking place in the Shantiniketan layout, where almost 17 buildings will be demolished over here, what has been said from the officials here. So the demolition work has started on the ground. So this is the Shantiniketan layout where we are reporting from. But of course, this is all right after the flood-like situation that IT city Bengaluru witnessed. And you see there was an immediate action that CM Baswaraj Bommai had poured in, saying that none of them will be spared and there won't be a second thought given to it, because including ITBT, the common man too had suffered because of the flood-like situation in the state and especially in the Bengaluru city, after which the BBMP officials were being given an immediate direction to take up this demolition work. But yes, this is the second day of the operation where you can see the demolition is taking place. So that's the high drama visuals that the IT city is getting to see right now. But yes, this comes right after a revenue department too gave notice to these building owners here, because this Shantiniketan layout that we're talking about is not that this recent time that they witnessed a flood-like situation, but previously too there was a huge water logging that was seen here, and the water too was stagnant for a long time over here on the ground. But with all that, you see the notice that was served and now the demolition taking place. So yes, the Congress party on the other side, we are also seeing reactions pouring in, where Congress party saying, the state government is only going through a common man, and why the IT parks are being spared, for which we also saw what happened yesterday in the Bagmane, where the officials untouched the IT park and leave the spot within the couple of hours. So yes, the Congress party is also taking jibe by the BJP party, the state government, saying that the common man is the one who is suffering end of the day, and it's all the words that are pouring in from the CM Basuraj Bommai, and no action seems to be taken on the ground. But here the demolition that is happening in the Shanti Niketan layout, you see there's also a huge police deployment. The locals are told not to move in. There shouldn't be any kind of a movement here. So almost 200 meters from this location from where we are reporting, the movements are being restricted, and have been told no vehicles would be allowed inside, and no locals too would be allowed. So this is the demolition that is taking place in the IT city now.
And Ritu, this seems to be a residential structure, or are these offices in Shanti Niketan?
See, now the place from where we are reporting, the Shanti Niketan layout, is moreover a residential area, but of course there would be offices inside the residence too. Never know, but that's the huge demolition and drive, the anti-encroachment drive that the state government has taken up right after the revenue department giving serving the notice to these house owners, and with all that, it is all to the prior notice that it is happening. But the question that has been raised right now against the state government is why the IT parks are being spared, because they were also hugely part of what took place during the flood-like situation in the IT city. The major reason was, of course, the Raj Kalwe, but where the IT parks were also part of it, because the areas that we're talking about, whether it's the Mahadevpura or the outer ring road as well, these are the IT corridors that we have seen. But there, you see there's no action that is coming in from the BBMP officials or the revenue department or from the state government.
Absolutely. Ritu, thank you so much for joining us. In fact,